Uh, this has been, and I apologize. My voice is just a shot. It's been a long week, and it also, we can sort of go and talk about that we are dealing with the anniversary of Freddie Gray, that and even how that anniversary is not just an anniversary that on, he was, wow. It's April 8th to almost the 18th of sort of looking at, from the 12th to the 18th, of sort of looking at that when he was attacked to when he was actually pronounced dead, and how to even look and sort of examine, when is that those activists in Baltimore kind of figure out continuously when to have a demonstration, because it's almost been because he laid injured, for over a week. So with Akai Gurley, on November 20th, 2014, as we all know, Akai Gurley was walking in the pink houses in East New York, Brooklyn, and he was walking with his current partner, and they were just coming up the stairs, and Peter Liang, who is a new rookie cop, heard a noise and shot into the dark recklessly on a vertical patrol with his partner Sean Landau, and shot and killed, well, first let's be clear, shot Akai Gurley, and then decided that it was more important to call his union rep. It was more important to get his ducks in a row, and allowed Akai Gurley to bleed out in the arms of Melissa Butler. Instead of calling 911, instead of making sure that he was given medical attention, he chose to recklessly shoot into the dark and then ignore and not value the life of Akai Gurley. In that process, there has been a struggle that has occurred from day one, where people have rallied in the pink houses. They've rallied at 320 J Street, which is Supreme Court. In fact, I'm wearing a T-shirt that Sylvia Palmer is Akai Gurley's mother, and this T-shirt was out during the time when we were fighting just to have Akai, just having a grand jury. That was one of the first struggles, to even get an indictment of Peter Liang, and these were that we rallied. Then the next piece of time was that we got the grand jury, and that we got the understanding that there was a trial, and we packed the court. And even in fact, the part that people not only packed the court, they wouldn't allow. We had to struggle just to get people in the court. Mostly reporters were there, mostly legal workers, just a little room for the family to be there. But we stayed and packed inside the court area for close to a week. And then we as the movement got an actual conviction. And when we got the conviction, Ken Thompson, the district attorney of Brooklyn, wrote a recommendation to have Peter Liang have house arrest, and to lessen and say that there's no jail time whatsoever. He murdered someone. We got it. He murdered someone, but he shouldn't. He's not a danger to society. He didn't have malice in his heart, and that we should, as a community, his family, his mother, should go with the understanding that he is not a threat to society, and he should just be under house arrest. Akai Gurley's family were outraged by this and called for another demonstration, specifically around the DA's call, and said that the only thing we will have is jail time. That is it. Nothing more, nothing less. As Akai's aunt has said over and over again, if Akai had murdered Peter Liang as a cop, there would have been no question that he would have been put under the jail. So on Tuesday, and it came down that the judge then ordered that there would be community service, 800 hours of community service of 5 year probation, time served, and 800 hours of community service for the murder of Akai Gurley. It was pandemonium in the movement, in the streets right there, the level of utter outrage and really frankly, and I want to be clear because of course we don't have any faith that the state will ever do us justice in any way, shape, or form. At the same time, and we are human beings, and just the same way when the cop who killed Tamir Rice got off for killing an 11-year-old with a toy gun, that the families of Nicholas Haywood Jr., the mother of Kamani Gray, the aunt of Chantel Davis, the sister of Chantel Davis. I'm just thinking of all the families that were there that day with the Akai Gurley's family. It was devastating. It was devastating for Melissa Butler, who had Akai Gurley's blood. He died in her arms. It was devastating. Cam Livingston's mother was on social media, angry, because it really showed Ken Thomas campaigned and ran and met with families and said, you know what? He ran with a campaign. It's gonna be not business as usual. I have your back. He ran. Ken Thomas, he got the endorsement of Jamie Grant, who is on The Wire, who is a known anti-police brutality activist. Salas knows Beyonce's sister. And I start naming names and name drops. Russell Simmons campaigned for Ken Thomas. So again, the betrayal that these families feel, that you sat us down and you met with us and you told us you would have justice. And based on this, that basically Peter Liang can pick up some garbage on the side of the street for murdering a young black person. That Ken Thomas, the DA's office of the state, said, of course, again, black lives do not matter. So within hours of that decision, activists, particularly folks that had been working on the case, organized a direct action at Ken Thomas's house at 12:30 at night and said, wake your ass up, Ken. If Akai Gurley's family can't sleep tonight, if the black community can't sleep tonight, if the progressive community can't sleep tonight, if mothers and fathers and sisters and uncles and lovers of people who have lost people to police murder are not going to sleep tonight, you aren't going to sleep either. And folks went and chanted and had a banner that says, Ken Thomas, the blood of Akai Gurley is on your hands, and drummed and chanted in front of his home. And because of that action, there were 7 arrests. We're still waiting on, right now in this moment, for one of the activists, Jason Woody, which a lot of us probably know. He's a bike messenger and had his bike that night. And particularly one of the things that he does in the movement, I appreciate him, is that he's one of the people on a lot of marches who, because he's on a bike, scouts for us and during marches. He's really awesome. This is a role that he plays tactically to help figure out how to keep marches safe. He was attacked by 10 cops. And there's video footage of that as well. It was something that I learned in taking footage, that if you react, this is something I learned from the lawyer this week, if you react on videotape to a situation, like not just explaining it out, but just react naturally, it is admissible in court as evidence. I am glad, I just want to say, I didn't know this, but that this is something that, again, that is important to cop watch. It's important to do this because this is the ways that we keep our people safe. The New York Post has already put out that he attacked a cop. We watched 10 cops jump him, run him down on the sidewalk, throw him down, put him in cuffs, and call for backup, and attacked him. But again, the New York Post has put out he attacked a cop, and a cop got scraped. He had a cut, and he had to go and get medical attention for his little cut that he had, I think, on his finger somewhere. So with this said, and I'll wrap up with this because I think it's incredibly an important piece. The hashtag has been Ken must resign, by Ken. And that is starting, by Ken is one of the people are outraged by not just Ken Thomas, but also de Blasio and his complicity in this in all kinds of ways. But the truth of the matter, when everything is said and done, and understanding that we can never have justice under this system, that capitalism itself, that no matter how righteous, how clearly evident that this was a case where the cop should have been put under the jail for the murder, cold-blooded murder, that he allowed this person to bleed out instead of like providing medical attention, that it really is up to us and will always be up to us as a movement. And so what was been badass, and I want to give lots of praise, particularly to like not only just the families, because they are just amazing. You're videotaping, but I should just say, you know, Auntie did jail support this week. That Akai Gurley's aunt like came and sat in court with folks, and you know, like that's just amazing. That most of the families probably helped in some way, shape, or form to give to bail money. That we raised $5,000 within days is about the movement. But that so Chantel Davis's families texting, how can we give? How can we support? What can we do? Like, that's like what this has been like, that people raise $5,000 in basically 36 to 48 hours. That people, like, that folks were like, it's not over, it's not done, and what else is the next step? So stay tuned. So much is being discussed and talked about. There will be a community response. Know that that is happening. But the other piece of it is also to ultimately that it is also bonded more and more people together to understand that it is not that we don't rely on the injustice system to take care of our struggle, that it always needs to be about people in the streets, people like in motion, and how that we need to get rid of the system that we live under. That racism and police brutality and white supremacy and police murders will not stop until capitalism is done and over with and eroded. And this is shown that why we need to constantly be fighting to change this system, because we'll never get justice from it, ever. Thank you, comrades. A cop and say, well, why are you stopping me? We have watched young people be tasered because they said, well, why are you stopping me? Start tasering them. We've seen that on video. That we even have to fight for something so basic. So this is important. Constance Malcolm has said that the mayor is dodging her. She wants a meeting with the mayor. And she's like, if you don't, I'm going to fight to get you out of office. She said that. And again, you know, to just see the tremendous respect that I have for her, and her leadership is amazing. So again, as we see this hashtag, right to know, if you're on social media, play it up. It seems like it's a basic reform, but in so many ways it's revolutionary, because what is happening in the communities, we don't have the right to even talk to cops because they will kill us. And that's the thing that I think, again, again, sometimes it really is the understanding that the most basic concessions really takes so much tremendous organizing, because the state is so racist and so horrible that we even have to fight for legislation that says we have the right to know. Thank you.